right, today we are diving into a book that's been a game changer for so many people. J.L. Collins' The Simple Path to Wealth. The promise here is huge, a really straightforward, no-nonsense map to financial independence. So, how does it actually work? Let's get into it. So, let me ask you something. Does the whole world of investing just feel way too complicated? If you've ever felt totally swamped by all the jargon, the hot stock tips, and the million different options, you are definitely not alone. Collins actually argues that all this complexity isn't an accident. It's kind of built into the financial industry. But he offers a powerful and much simpler alternative.
Okay, but before we can even start talking about building wealth, we have to deal with the one thing that's actively working against it. For Collins, the starting line is super clear. You've got to tackle your debt first.
Collins's perspective on this is honestly pretty intense. He really wants us to stop thinking of debt as just a normal, everyday thing. He says we need to see it for what it is, a massive weight that limits our choices, adds a ton of stress, and literally stops us from building the life we want.
And this is where he really pushes back on a common idea: good debt. You know, the stuff we're told is okay, like mortgages or student loans. Collins says, not so fast. He argues that even a mortgage can be a trap, nudging us to buy way more house than we really need, locking us into payments for decades. And he gives a really stark warning about student loans, calling them this just crushing weight on young people trying to get started. His point? It's simple. All debt gets in the way of your freedom.
So, if debt's the enemy, and the financial world is just too complex, what's the answer? Well, this is where the pure elegance of Collins's whole philosophy really comes to life.
I mean, think about it for a second. When things are complicated, you feel like you need an expert, right? A manager, an advisor, and all of them charge fees that eat into your money. Collins's whole argument is that you can get much better results by just sidestepping all that noise and embracing a strategy that is profoundly simple.
And this really gets to the heart of it. It's not just that being simple is easier, it's that it's actually better. It stops you from making those classic emotional mistakes. And most importantly, it keeps way more of your money working for you by avoiding all those high fees that come with complex products.
Okay, so what does this simple strategy actually look like in practice? Well, the toolkit Collins suggests is so minimalist, you're going to love it.
The whole strategy, the entire thing, is built on something called an index fund. So forget about trying to find the next big stock. An index fund is basically like buying a tiny little piece of the entire market. It's automatically spread out, and here's the best part, it is incredibly cheap.
And here's tool number 1 in your kit, VTSAX. That's the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. Collins calls this your growth engine. With just this one fund, you own a tiny slice of thousands of U.S. companies, from the biggest giants to the small up-and-comers. This is what you use for long-term growth.
And here it is, the second and final tool, VBTLX, the Vanguard Total Bond Market Index Fund. Now, if stocks are the fast-moving engine, think of bonds as the shocks. This fund is way less bumpy, and it gives your portfolio stability, which is especially important as you get closer to the time you'll actually need to use this money.
So why is this two-fund combination so powerful? Well, it's dead simple to manage, which means you're way more likely to actually stick with it. The costs are rock bottom, so fees aren't just eating away your hard-earned returns, and you're diversified across the whole market automatically. It's just a really elegant and effective solution.
All right, now we get to the really hard part. The math and the strategy are simple, but learning how to manage your own emotions when the market gets crazy, that is the real challenge.
I just love this visual because it perfectly captures the mindset you need. Investing isn't just about spreadsheets and numbers. It is so much about psychology. Your ability to just stay calm and stick to the plan when markets are dropping is probably the single biggest factor in your long-term success.
It is so crucial to let this sink in. Market crashes feel awful, but they are a totally normal and expected part of investing. And history shows us two things very, very clearly. 1, the market always comes back, and 2, its long-term trend is relentlessly upward. You know what that means? It means the best thing to do is often nothing at all. Just buy, hold, and stay the course.
And this, right here, is why a simple plan is so brilliant. It protects us from our own worst instincts. Our brains are basically hardwired to freak out and sell when things go down, and get greedy and buy when things are way up. This leads people to do the exact opposite of what they should, A simple, automated plan helps you ignore all that noise and avoid falling into that trap.
Okay, so let's put this all together. What is the actual step-by-step roadmap that Collins lays out for us?
Here it is, the whole thing, boiled down into 4 clear steps. Step 1, get rid of that high-interest debt. It's just an anchor holding you back. Step 2, pick your simple, low-cost index fund strategy. Step 3, put it on autopilot. Set up automatic contributions so it just happens. And finally, step 4, and this is the toughest one, just stay the course. Ignore the headlines and let your plan do the work.
And let's never forget the why behind all of this. This whole strategy isn't just about having a bigger number in your bank account for the sake of it. The real goal is what that money buys you: freedom. The freedom to choose your work, to spend your time exactly how you want, and to live a life that is truly rich with experiences, not just things.
So as we wrap this up, I'm just going to leave you with this question. Don't try to do everything at once. Just based on this simple path, what's one small, simple thing you could do today to get just one step closer to your own financial freedom?